You brought up a guy by the name of Clayton Kershaw, and I was looking at his numbers the other day. Obviously, he just got his 200th win. Clayton Kershaw, I don't know what it is about him, but like he's fantastic, and I feel like he just doesn't get talked about enough. I was looking at his numbers. Clayton Kershaw since 2009 has had 2 seasons with an ERA over 3. 2 seasons since 2009. His ERA has been under 3 every single year except for 2 years since 2009. He had where was it? 3.03 in 2019 and 3.55 in 2021. Other than that, every single year it's been under 3. Like he's been so fantastic for so long. Like
Clayton Kershaw, the West Coast thing, people missed a lot of his starts, and then early in his career, especially his playoff record wasn't great, and I was kind of held against him. But he's a wonderful pitcher. He's number one, number two of his generation.
that was my question: is where does he rank all time for starting pitchers? Because I mean, he's been so good for so long. He's got to be top 10 starting pitcher of all time, maybe top 5.
It depends because of it depends on if you're counting the things that shouldn't count, like the pre-integration dead ball era where Cy Young is throwing 90 games a year. But yeah, like since the 40s or 50s, I would think top 10 up there. It depends on, with pitchers, it's kind of like, what's your flavor? Like a lot of people love Nolan Ryan, despite he was never, he walked a ton of guys. He was super dominant at times, but he was never like a great pitcher, if you will. Whereas Kershaw is kind of the second coming of Sandy Koufax, but actually with a more lengthy career. And then, of course, here I think in Detroit, people would mention Justin Verlander as one of the best pitchers of his era. You go to Seattle and people talk about Felix Hernandez, had a great run. But I think Scherzer, Scherzer's up there. But then when we were coming up and, we had Clemens, and who's, of course, been tainted by steroids. People always talk about Greg Maddux and the Randy Johnson. And I don't know, you could suddenly expand that to like 2025 guys. Tom Seaver, Steve Carlton, Bob Gibson. But yeah, I mean, I think that Kershaw is certainly top 10 worthy. It just depends on how you want to break everything down.